Previous video we set up the dimensions, alright, the dimensions of your whatever B, C, H, D, T, whatever. Alright, we're using this given diagram and also the knowledge of this. Alright, so once we set up the thing, then we are somewhat able to actually solve for shear stress in this video. Alright, hopefully this video can clear it, because it actually is quite straightforward. It's just applying the formula already. Alright, so your Q is given, is your shear stress, which is 200 Newton, okay, while your D is your flexural rigidity. Alright, it's a summation of your Young modulus with your so-called second moment of area, which is this equation. You just apply, alright, because the T, the B, and the TD, whatever C, is all given, and the EF is your phase. Young modulus of a phase, if you remember, is 10.8 gigapascal. Alright, same for this also, okay. However, for young modulus of your so-called core, Young modulus of your core is in terms of 360 MPa. Alright, so be careful in the SI unit, megapascal and gigapascal. So therefore, be very careful of that. So therefore, if you want to change things to megapascal, you're gonna have it to be times 10 to the power of 3 megapascal. Okay, hopefully this is pretty clear. And then the shear strength of your core is 2 MPa. I don't know how you're going to apply it in. Okay, so now we can just start to calculate first for your flexural rigidity, which is your D first, okay, in this sector. So we will just take these values and just bring it all over here. Okay, at least it's pretty clear. Alright, so I'm just simply subbing in the values already. EF is the Young modulus of your phase, which is this one. And if you think about it, this is 10 to the power of cube, which is 10.8 times 1000, which is 10800. Compare this value with your 360. Alright, this is way too small. Alright, this value is way too small. So if you have this, so to simplify your calculations, you can actually simply ignore this thing, because this is way too small. Alright, and if you think about it, they are dividing by 12. This is divided by 2, this is divided by 6. So this is why over here this value is somewhat ignored. Alright, you can calculate yourself, but it's not very much significant. Alright, you can calculate, but it's not significant. Alright, so therefore we can just simply calculate these two, and that's it. Okay, so what we have, if I were to just calculate for these two equations, so EF is 10.8 times, I'll just write out the formulas lah. Okay, so this thing over here is this one, okay, while this thing over here is this one. And if I were to work it out, the values for your D, your flexural rigidity, alright, so if I were to calculate for all this, I will have 54720 times 10 to the power of cube PA, Pascal millimeter 4. So the unit for your flexural rigidity, take note, is Pascal per, millimeter 4. Alright, and therefore this is the thing that we are talking about. Alright, millimeter I believe is because the questions I would think is setting it as a millimeter, because the question didn't actually specify it as whether is it millimeter or what. Alright, they didn't say much, it's just the unit, they didn't put the units. So therefore I'll just yeah lor. So now we get a D now. Alright, let's calculate for our SE. Okay, so same thing over here, your EF is a bit blur. So your D has been calculated. Alright, your Q is known, your B is 50. So the only thing left now is your this one, right? In case so we are gonna calculate for this. Okay, and therefore simply subbing in things also. But take note that this value will be also way too small, because this is in terms of to the power of 10 to the power of cube. Alright, same thing, this is 360 only. Alright, but in case you may wonder, I'll just also try to calculate for all of them. But in test, I would suggest that you can ignore this one. But you can, so when you ignore something, you're gonna say that you're gonna ignore it, and because there is negligible as compared to this value, you must say that, alright, in your exams, if you're not calculating that. So I'll just simply put in the values. Alright, before calculating that, I should update that this is actually megapascal. Okay, megapascal, because when you use 10.8, alright, this is in terms of megapascal already. Alright, So yeah, my class mistake. Alright, it's in fact, yeah, maybe I didn't copy correctly, but anyway. So coming back to our summation of the SE, alright, the first moment of area multiplied by our Young modulus, alright, this is the equation. So I'll just simply sub it in, alright. So this thing over here is this one, this thing over here is this one, okay. So once you get that, you'll eventually get this value, which is also similar to your lecturer's values, okay. And I just want to let you take note is that if you take a look, this is actually very insignificant compared to this, right? And this is why we normally ignore this. But the y values, you may wonder, why do we put 3? The y is not given, as you can see, alright. So the reason behind the y is it 3 is, if you remember, the y value is any distance from your core to your from any reference axis to the middle of your whole thing, alright, the middle of your whole sandwich panel. So therefore you can choose this as 3, or nonetheless you can move it nearer your reference axis. We can move it nearer to actually 1, alright, as long as it's within this region, this boundary. So if you think about it, this is 8, alright, this region is 4, this region is 4. So if you kept your reference axis as about 3, 2, 1, is also can, alright. No, don't exceed 4. This is just the intervals. But I would believe that it's not very quite applicable in our case, but for you to take note. And if you wonder how do we get all the intervals and how do we understand this, to my video V7.6, we'll talk about the shear stresses of your sandwich panel and the maximum diffraction. So this 3 will be somewhat good videos for you to understand the intervals between your y and the c or whatever things that you're talking about. But anyway, once you get these values, alright, so we know that, I'll just do out the table easier. So we have found our d as this value, right? And we also found our strain and our so-called stiffness, alright. This is the first moment of area multiplied by a Young modulus is this one, alright. So we have found these two major parts, alright. Now we can just simply sub in our values to find our shear stress, alright. So we know our Q, we know our D, our B, and our this one, alright. You just compare this formula to this one. I'll not go through. But eventually, if you were to sub it in your equations, ensuring that you are in terms of megapascal, because all along we are talking about megapascal, alright, your D is your this value, 54720 megapascal, and it's all megapascal, alright, and it's millimeter, alright, so take note of the millimeter, and it's quite intuitive that it's millimeter if you think about it, because they say that you need any engineering assumptions and things like that. So I think this is the certain assumptions that we take in. But anyway, if you were to just calculate for them, alright, so I'll just sub in now. Your D is your Q, sorry, your shear force is this one. So this portion is actually this portion, okay, or this portion is your this thing, summation of your SE, okay. So now if you were to calculate for the shear stress now, get 0.3947, alright. And if you think about it, this is megapascal, alright. If you were to round it off, you'll get 0.4 megapascal, and this is the answer for your question 2 tutorial 2 question 2 answer, alright, which is also corresponds to the lecturer's answer, alright, which is yeah lor. So this is the maximum shear stress required for the interface between the core and the faces that yeah. So these are the stresses along that face, along the interface lah. Okay. And before I go, I just want to let you take note that the lecturer had actually written the summation of SE. Instead of this equation, he actually used the different equation, where he used A times C bar, alright, multiply by your E, Young modulus of your face, okay, which is a bit weird, alright. So I'll leave you to think about it, because this is actually for the solid beam, or the first moment of area. If you think about it, if you were to head back all the way, this is the equation, S is equals to A times C, alright. This is for your solid beam, alright. But however, for the sandwich beam is different. Sandwich beam, alright, your S and the E is all calculated together, alright, which is being shown in this equation over here. So I'll recommend you use this equation, alright, but nonetheless, I don't know how he calculate that he eventually this equation can give you the same answer that we have, alright, because I calculated using his values. He gave me 6 times some value. I can't see properly because I copied wrongly. Alright, my handwriting sucks. But anyway, 6 times something, alright, multiplied by 5. Oh, okay, so this is, give me a while. So it's actually taking, the area is 12 times 50, and then times this C bar is actually, he write as Y bar minus Y1. I'll leave you to think about it in the future, but you just take note lah. So it's 6 minus 1, and then the E is actually 10.8, which is the one that we have always been using, alright. And then eventually he get it as 5450, or maybe I think I calculated wrongly, maybe it's 5400, but anyway, 10 to the power of cube. And if you were to put it into your calculator, alright, this is not this value at all, okay, actually 32400 something, okay, which is, that's why I don't know what the hell is going on, but maybe it's because I copy wrongly, alright. So I'll leave you to think about it as an alternative method, but yeah, so if in the future you can put in more comments to so-called edit this video. Anyway, so I think this is it for the whole question 2 tutorial 2, and yeah.